Over the weekend, U.S. military bases in Europe were reportedly put on a state of heightened alert over the weekend, according to Stars and Stripes, which is the service of the DoD's defense media agency. Their bases in Germany and Italy the condition of their force protection threat to Charlie until further notice. Now, the military sets force protection levels at different categories, either normal, alpha, bravo, Charlie, or delta, and delta, of course, being the highest state of alert. So can we expect more of this in the months ahead? Well, joining me now to discuss this is retired U.S. Army Lieutenant Colonel Bob Maginnis. He's a senior fellow for national security here at FRC and the author of Kings of the East, China's Plan to Eliminate America and Impose a Communist World Order. Lieutenant Colonel Maginnis, welcome back to Washington Watch. Always great to have you, sir.
My pleasure, Jody. Good day.
Well, thank you so much, and likewise to you. All right, tell me what happened over the weekend that rose the alert. Is this a common occurrence, or is this something very serious that's taking place?
Well, in the past, Jody, we would only have an increase of the force protection level by one level, say to a Charlie, that would last a couple of days based upon rather specific threats of terrorist activity or other types of activity near an installation. Now, I will tell you, I go in the Pentagon a lot. We've been at the Pentagon, at least at level Bravo, for a long time, mostly since 9/11. But the increase by the European Command, EUCOM, over in Stuttgart, indicates that in several locations, not only in Germany, but also it appears Romania, Bulgaria, that they have rather specific indicators of some sort of terrorist potential activity. Now, it could be other than terrorism. There could be an indication of what the Russians might be doing to interrupt our activities in helping the Ukrainians. It could be something even broader than that. Certainly the Olympics come to mind that start later this month. So there are a host of issues that might be at play, but we're not going to get the specifics announced publicly because we're going after the sources of that information and hopefully will delay or prevent any attack against our personnel.
Well, that makes perfect sense when you explain it that way. But you have to admit the timing of all of this is very interesting, considering really the global message of weakness and frailty that was sent out during the debate last week. And while there may be some assumptions taking place, and you mentioned several possibilities as to what prompted the rise to the Charlie level. But how critical is it that the United States overall show strength on the world stage right now?
Well, there's no question that the perception amongst our allies is that we're weakened post the debacle of Afghanistan. And of course, arguably, us standing down to a certain degree and allowing Putin to invade into Ukraine. Now, at the same time, of course, this administration has been pumping billions and billions of dollars worth of equipment to the Ukrainians and have rallied the NATO allies to do much the same. But at the same time, we have the Chinese that are breathing down our neck. The Russians, of course, have really energized their entire population vis-a-vis the re-election of Vladimir Putin. And of course, they've industrialized their military capabilities to an extent that we haven't seen since the Cold War. So that plus the Gaza attack that is ongoing, the debacle of October the 7th and what followed, and of course, re-energized North Korea, re-energized Iran. All of this paints a very dire situation across the world. And so I'm not surprised, at least right now, given all of that, that we have tension and as a result have increased our force protection, which means basically more guards at the post, more listening to all sorts of chatter on the internet, And of course, more inspections of anything that might try to come into our installations, whether at Ramstein or Kaiserslautern or up in Hohenfels or even down in Vicenza in Italy. So there are a host of things we're watching for, and it could be very dangerous if something were to provoke what's going on right now.
Well, you use the word dire. I think that's an appropriate word to use. But the threat is not just overseas. Even right here on our own U.S. soil, I'm sure you saw a recent report that revealed that ISIS-affiliated smugglers, a network of them of some 400 individuals, came through the southern border, all of it right here on the Biden administration's watch. But using the labels that the military has for states of alert, I would venture to say we here on our own homeland, we are no longer at normal anymore. Would you agree with that?
No, absolutely, Jody. The fact
So where would you think we are? I mean, are we Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Delta? Where would you suspect we are right here on the homeland?
probably Charlie trending to Delta because the southern border has been wide open for a long time. Millions of people have come in, and it doesn't take, as we saw on September the 11th, 2001. It only takes 19 bad dudes to disrupt the entire United States. So yeah. I suspect, given the many thousands of military-age communist Chinese, many from the Middle East, many from Northern Africa, where we don't have any real friends, and then, of course, an odd lot from Eastern Europe, that we could very well have many bad characters that are in sleeper cells that are posted around this country near our critical infrastructure. And of course, they could go into a local mall and shoot things up and cause all sorts of chaos. So we are at a very heightened level, I think, even though it's not acknowledged by the Homeland Security people. But the risk is high. And I know the FBI director, a couple of months ago, said that he hasn't seen the red lights of blinking as much as they have in recent years. So this is a dangerous time.
Wow. Well, that makes all the more critical. Elections, they have consequences. It makes all the difference in the world, and that's why we need to pray, we need to vote, we need to stand. Thank you, Lieutenant Colonel Bob Maginnis, Senior Fellow for National Security here at FRC. Always great to have you.